G'day guys, you're back with MiracleMAX. Let's just say you're cruising down the road in your faithful Audi Q5 2011 model and all of a sudden you end up with a flat tyre. Do you have any idea where the flat tyre is located? Do you have any idea why the thing is so skinny? Do you have any idea if you can pump it up? It's a weird one, trust me. So let's have a look at it together. So let's just say you're a soccer mum with a couple of kids, and of course you've got all the pushers and the prams and all the bits and pieces that you need to go wherever you happen to be going. That's got to come out of the hatch area or the boot area. You know, the mat as well as this here panel, which folds up and sits on top of the spare wheel, as you can see right there. Now this spare wheel is kind of weird. Have a look at it. If we have a look at the tyre itself, the thickness of the tyre, it is super thin. It's almost like a solid tyre, but it's not, it's inflatable. Now this is a little bit different to the normal space savers that we see in the back of cars. This one is a flat one that needs to be, yes that's right, inflated while you're on the side of the road. Of course that's what you want to do when you've got screaming kids and you've got to unload the back of the hatch. Alright, I'll walk you through the process. Let's head over to this piece here. There's a connector that needs to be disconnected. There is a nut that needs to be undone over here. Let's get rid of that one. Then we can also get rid of this fella right here. Once we get rid of that, lift him up, Max, come on. There we go. And we can now put him to one side. Yeah. Let's just put him on the pile of stuff there, shall we? And the nut goes on top. Okay, spare wheel needs to come out next. That's easy, you just pop it out. I won't show you because I've got to use two hands and I've got to put the camera down. I've now flipped it over and you can see on there there's all a range of stickers. Now it says you're meant to pump it up. You can't actually see it because you can't pump it up until you see the measurement on the side here. But you pump it up to about 51 psi or 350 kilopascals I think it is. How do you do that if you don't have a compressor? Well, believe it or not guys, you do have a compressor, it's on board. Let me show you. For our Australian models, the compressor is located in the left-hand kick panel on the left-hand side of a right-hand drive vehicle here in Australia, of course. So we simply undo that nut area thing there, and our compressor is tucked away right there. And we simply get the Velcro up, lift it up, pull him out like that, and pull it out. That, believe it or not, is our compressor. Well, how are you going to drive it, Max? Don't I need like 12 volts or something? Scoot across to the right hand side and you can see a jack or a outlet there, 12 volt outlet. That's the one you plug into, I assume. Let's hook it up and see what it does. I've just pulled it out and look at that. Isn't it cute? Okay, so we've got the actual hose assembly itself with a gauge included and a 12 volt connector right here. So look, I'm going to test this one because this hasn't been tested as far as I know. I just want to make sure it actually works. So let's connect this 12 volt connector up to the outlet that I showed you a second ago. Let's hook this up onto the car and we'll see, or the spare tyre, and let's see what it actually does. Also note that you won't get power to it unless you have the vehicle running, because if you pump up your tyre you can end up with a flat battery perhaps. So they've made it so that that power outlet only has power going to it when the vehicle's running. Also notice that the power switch is located on the back of the compressor. I'll put it on the ground so it's not quite as noisy. Just notice what happens when it inflates. That just popped out, okay. What I wanted to show you was the only time that pressure reading is visible is when the thing is actually popped out. Now we've got to get it up to that 350 kPa or 51 psi. So we'll keep an eye on the gauge now and see how long that takes. Right, so I've turned off the compressor and the vehicle itself, quite noisy. That hose is like super hot. This fella here is super hot. And look, I haven't got it up to the total pressure that it's meant to be, but that took about 7 minutes, so I guess total time would be close to 10 minutes pumping it up to get it to the correct pressure. And now that the tyre is actually inflated, you can see what pressure it's meant to be at over here. Not sure if you can really see that or not. The pressure is 350 kPa or 51 psi right there. And as I said, I'm not quite at that at the moment, but this gives you an idea of what it does. Imagine the stress of that, with all your pile of baby gear shoved on the side of the road, no one pulling over to help you. You've got to whack out this stupid compressor and sit there for 10 minutes. That's what Audi has decided to do to save a bit of space. There's not much space in the back of these things, so I guess any space saved is good. To deflate the tyre, all you need to do is undo this little valve at the bottom of your gauge, and that will start to release the air. While we're waiting for the air to go down, you might be interested to note the location of the battery. So we're back in the hatch area again. As you can see, we're just in the hatch area. And if we come right down, there's a panel right here. We pull him off, in theory, put it to one side, hard with one hand, and get that fella happening too. And that is where your battery is located. Of course, once again, to save space. Cars are getting more and more electrical components. Across to the left hand side where the compressor is located, you probably notice that that is where some ECUs are located. Sometimes they have fuse boxes and everything located in the back of the vehicle. Just something to keep in mind, guys, if you're looking for that sort of stuff. The tyre itself is pretty strange in construction. The tread is designed to get you home, guys, nothing else. No skiddies, no snow, no rain, no nothing. To get you home, get you to the tyre place so that you can get your correct tyre, the one that's on the vehicle now, repaired. This is purely a spare tyre that's designed for emergencies only. Also note that you have a maximum speed of 80 k's, no faster. You could put yourself in danger if you do. So I just had to, oh, there she goes, caught it just in time. So you can see it starts to deform again. It goes back to its original shape so that you can put it back in the vehicle where it belongs. So it looks like all the air's out of it, so it's ready to go back into the vehicle. So I've put all my goodies back in the little compressor housing where it belongs, the electrical connector with the 12 volt input, as well as my compressor hose and the gauge. Simply shut your lid and we can pop him back where it belongs. Generally speaking, it goes in this direction, faces down into that little housing. And all we need to do now is reconnect our Velcro strip to hold it into place. Which is always easier said than done with Velcro. Come on, fella. There we go. All right, stick him through there. Pull it around and job is done. Look, I didn't know about this before, but I thought you guys might need to know just like I did. There's your little compressor. I'll just put my spare wheel back in and all the other stuff. Now that you put the spare wheel back in, make sure that this little wiring connector or this wiring loom comes through one of the holes here, and make sure it's in line with that, not stuck over there somewhere, but make sure it's in line with that so that the next section can go in. So believe it or not, this is part of your subwoofer system, guys. If you flip him over, you can see that there's a speaker inside here. So part of your subwoofer, you don't hook up this connector here, you get no doof in the back. So simply connect that back up. And now got some doof happening. And put your big plastic nut back on again. Job's done. Well, part of the job anyway, hey? Next on the list is this big panel that slides in like that. Next goes in the rubber mat. Put that in position, locate it. Well, you know the rest of the drill, all the stuff goes back in. And the next job is all of this needs to go back into here. You're ready to go on the road again with all the screaming children that it's taken 20 minutes. Stinking hot day, stuck on the side of the road with an air compressor. My opinion, not the smartest invention, just to save some space. But hey, I guess you've got to do what you got to do for a bit of comfort. So there you go guys, something I didn't know before. The collapsible expanding spare tyre used in the Audi Q5 2011 model. Of course, it's used across a range of vehicles as well, but hey, it's the first time I've ever seen it, so I thought I'd show you as well in case you hadn't seen it too. If you did enjoy this video today and you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and feel free to comment down below. Of course, don't forget about that notification bell. You don't want to miss any future videos. So guys, until next time, this is MiracleMAX signing off. I will catch you later.